As some of you might know, I do quite a lot reviews and unboxings of true wireless headphones here on my channel. I also did some sort of Indiegogo special, you can just watch it up here. But in this comparison there were the Air by Crazybaby I have quite for a long time, so I have them, I think, just supported this campaign around about at the end of 2016, and so now we have 2019. I have over 3 years with these headphones, with ups and downs, but they were in this time pretty unique, and it was also way before the first Apple AirPods came out, without any wires. So the Air by Crazybaby tried to be the very first true wireless headset. And today I just want to try to figure out with you if this is still good value, or should you just go for something else. And let's just get started right after the intro. Here we go, and welcome to The Idea of Technology. My name is Michael, and today, as already mentioned, it's all about the Air by Crazybaby. This freaky looking thing should look like some toys for adults, but yeah, there were a few times at the airport I need to open my bag because of this crazy looking capsule over here, yeah, that's another story. As I mentioned, I want to talk with you about the Air by Crazybaby. First of all, it was my first crowdfunded true wireless headset out there nearly 3 years ago, and I've used them quite a long time until I got the Funkle W1. I also made a review about them, so you can just check out the review over here if you want. But now I've switched to the Funkle W1 of a few certain reasons I mentioned in the review. But today it should be all about the Air by Crazybaby, and I have also lying around here the Air Nano by Crazybaby, which I will also do a review about when I have time for it. So what does make the Air by Crazybaby so unique, and why are they still listed at around about $150, which is just pretty expensive compared to other crowdfunded headphones or other opportunities out there, like from Samsung, from Apple itself, or whatever you're gonna think about, Bose, Jabra, etc. And it's even more crazy when you think about when they just launched their campaign and got funded and just shipped all their headphones out. They also got this additional perk called Air Leash. I just can show you here. This is just pretty interesting because with this Air Leash, they're just made something pretty dumb, I would say. So you're just funding true wireless headphones, and you're just give away a little leash. It's called Air Leash Extreme Sport Silicone Strap, so you can still just connect the two earpieces with each other, so they don't get lost. Because in this time, people were just talking about losing their true wireless headphones, like they also were discussing when the Apple AirPods came out. So this was a thing back then. Okay, what you get, two things that catch my eye when I just looked at the campaign a few years ago. This was the first thing, USB Type-C. So yes, they're just pretty old, but also then back then they were able to just cramp a USB Type-C port in there. The last campaigns I just found were all just micro USB. I have no idea why. But probably they have too many micro USB ports lying around in China, Shenzhen, and they're just falling out of the manufacturing. But USB Type-C back then, which was pretty cool. And the second part is their unique approach to better sound quality was to go for carbon nanotubes in the drivers. So the drivers are pretty advanced when it comes to clarity and just deliver the pretty good sound quality over the complete frequency, from the lower ends to the mids up to the highs, which is just pretty unique for this time. And I must be honest, yeah, they're right, and they are just pretty good sounding. What I also liked was the carrying case. So you got just this metal, aluminum, silver or black or gray carrying case. I was going for the silver one, and you will always have some sort of illuminated logos from Crazybaby on their headphones, which is also just looking pretty cool. And from the ergonomic side, I think this sort of designed for a mobile device you just put in your ear is just perfect. Also, just the Funkel W1 has this sort of the same design. I think that's the best ergonomic approach. Okay, if you look at the Crazybaby side and you just look for the Air by Crazybaby, you will notice there are also the Air S1 version. So this is the newer version, and I just can encourage you to go for the S1 version if you're absolutely into this headset, because a few downsides with my older version here is absolutely the Bluetooth standards. So this one just comes with Bluetooth 4.2, and the newer version, the S1, comes with Bluetooth 5, which is in my opinion a big difference. They claimed back then that they will have the best audio quality and no lost connections and good data transfers and up to a few meters away from your mobile phone, but to be honest, back then I had a OnePlus 3T and I had huge problems running these with the OnePlus 3T. Even though it was just in my pocket, I had really big problems and also just sometimes complete music loss and no ability to just use my Air by Crazybaby. When I switched to my iPhone 8, it got way better, so I think the overall connectivity to Apple iPhones are pretty good. So with the iPhone I had no problem at all anymore, but it's not Bluetooth 5.0, so just keep this in mind. You will not have the whole benefits of Bluetooth 5.0 if you just go for the older Air version. If you go for the Air S1, you will have probably a really good connection to your mobile phone. Speaking more about the carrying case, as already mentioned, aluminum, USB Type-C, pretty fine. I think the build quality is quite good, I must be honest. Back then they had a delay of a few weeks, or I think a few months also, because of the build quality of this carrying case, but I must be honest, the build quality is still not very good. You just can screw, I would say overdo the locking mechanism of the capsule, which is just pretty bad. The magnets in there are pretty good, but you always have the feeling that you kind of damage your carrying case. And you also just get around about 3 to 5 charges with this carrying case, which is not a lot. And when we are talking about battery life, the battery life of these are pretty bad in terms of nowadays true wireless headsets, because the carrying case, just as I said, 3 to 5 charges, and the headset itself is just capable of doing around about 1.5 to at best up to 2.5 hours. And then at the moment they tell you their battery running low, 5 seconds later they are completely dead. But overall, when we're talking about the true wireless headsets, the ergonomics are extremely good, the sound is superior. Even nowadays, the sound is extremely good. I like the small and light approach. You get different ear tips. Everything is just super good. And they're really flat on profile, but as I already mentioned, the battery isn't the biggest one. But you will need to love that you have buttons on the outside with the illuminated logo where you have to press pretty hard. So this is, in my opinion, a downside. I like more the soft touch approach and where you have some sort of touch surface. But if you're kind into this and you really want to know when you push the button, this is also pretty fine, and you just get the basics, as already mentioned, about answering a call, skip a song, pause, play, etc. So these are all the basics you can do with the controls. And you also get a companion app, but this companion app is more likely to tell you what commands are there, and there is no more functionality integrated into this companion app from Air by Crazybaby, but most likely you will never need to use this app anymore. So this was just my long-term review about the Air by Crazybaby. They were my daily driver. I really loved them. They're pretty good. If I would choose to go for the Air S1 by Crazybaby, I would probably do so, but as I already mentioned, they are pretty expensive compared to other solutions nowadays out there. So if you compare it to something like the Funkel W1 or some other cheap and really well-built true wireless headsets out there, they're not as competitive as they were a few years ago. So just figure out for yourself if you're into kind of these headsets or not. But I must be honest, I have no problem just using them and I really love them. So maybe you will go for this or whatever you want to do with it. So if you disliked this video, you know what to do, but if you liked it, hit like down there, get subscribed and enable the notifications with the bell icon so you won't miss any future video of the idea of technology. And I just want to say thank you very much for watching, have a great day, bye.